My name is Madeline Miller, and I have intracranial hypertension. One day when I was in 8th grade, I just woke up with a really terrible headache, and I had never really had problems with headaches before. And the doctors, my pediatrician, couldn't figure out what was wrong, and after about a week, she said, "You should probably go to the emergency room." So we did. I was in the hospital for a few days because they were running all kinds of tests and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And then finally, they were about to release me, and they said, "Let's try one more thing. We're gonna do a lumbar puncture," which is also more commonly known as a spinal tap. And they did, and my opening pressure was high, which means that there was too much fluid. That's how they check for the fluid levels. Come to find out, I have intracranial hypertension. Intracranial hypertension is a rare neurological disorder that affects about 1 in 100,000 people. The fluid that cushions your brain builds up and it doesn't have any place to go. And that causes terrible head pressure, headaches. It can cause people to go blind sometimes. Luckily, I've never had that problem. Things like tingling in the face and extremities, blurred vision. So they tried a lot of different medications that had horrible side effects. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to go to school. I was tired all the time. I just wasn't myself at all. And they didn't work at all. So they put in a device called a shunt that took the fluid away from my brain and took it to my belly where it just gets absorbed. And that worked for about 6 years, and then that shunt went bad. So unfortunately, they had to replace the shunt, and several surgeries later, I got a new one. Honestly, it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride. Spring of 2018, I had several surgeries, including 2 brain surgeries. Spring of 2019, I had to have brain surgery again. So it's been a lot. And when I first was starting to take medication, my mom dealt with it for me. She would put it in a little Dixie cup and hand it to me every night and every morning. And I didn't want to take it. I was in high school at the time, and I said, "No, you take it," because I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be sick. Why did I have to be at home sick? And obviously, I've come a long way since then. I realized that I just have to. I don't have a choice. This is my life. This is how it's going to be. Taking medicine every day is not the worst thing in the world. It could be a lot worse. I have a routine where once a month I fill out my 4 pill containers so that I only have to deal with it once a month rather than doing that once a week or taking it out of every single pill bottle every day, because that would just be a reminder of just how much it is. Thank goodness my mom works for the government and we have great insurance, because without that it would cost a fortune. Even with that, it's very expensive. When I'm feeling good, it's great. I have a great time with my friends, and I can function as a normal college student. Nobody in my classes or my professors, if I didn't tell them, would ever know that I had this neurological disorder. It's a hidden chronic illness. You don't see it on the outside, which makes it a lot harder sometimes. Well, my mom and I always used to joke that we should just wrap a bandage around my head so that people could see that something was wrong. And then there's other times when I am sick and feeling very poorly, and I still try to function, but it doesn't work out so well. And that's usually when my shunt is malfunctioning, or when the weather's bad and the barometric pressure changes. That messes with my internal pressure, and my shunt doesn't like that very much. And like I said, joked about it, but a lot of people in the chronic illness community take it seriously, because hidden illnesses, I think, are a lot more harmful than ones that are outright and can be shown to people. Because it's one thing to have a cast on your arm and see that someone's hurt, but it's another thing to have something that you don't know that's going on, and you don't know why someone is acting the way that they are. And these invisible illnesses are hard. They're very hard, because people don't know. It's not necessarily that I would want to be treated any differently. It's just nice to have that empathy from people. Energy is hard. Things take effort, and there's this thing called the spoon theory, that we spoonies like to take spoons, and those are our energies throughout the day. Someone was once explaining to their friend what it was like to have a chronic illness, and just happened to have spoons lying around, and those spoons represented the amount of energy that they had in a given day, and it represented the fact that it was very limited. And it was used to explain how getting out of bed takes a spoon, brushing your teeth takes a spoon, taking a shower takes 2 or 3 spoons, and taking all of your medicine takes a spoon. You know, it takes a lot to do these little things that people who don't have a chronic illness don't think about. You know, getting up and making yourself a bowl of cereal and getting ready for the day doesn't seem to take a lot of effort if that's just your daily routine and you don't have a chronic illness. But if you do, you have to think about all of those little steps. So I have to be careful that I'm not stretching myself too thin, and that I have enough time to do my schoolwork, and that I have enough time to have me time and make sure I get all of the things done that I need to. I also do research about my condition, which is a fabulous opportunity. As soon as I knew that it didn't have a cure or many known causes, I knew that I wanted to do research about it. And so it means a huge amount to me that I have this opportunity so soon. You know, I never dreamed that I would be able to do this in undergrad. And I also have been able to join groups on Facebook with people who have intracranial hypertension that are all over the world, which is fabulous. Just talk with other people that were in the same boat, with doctors that didn't know what they were talking about and that weren't receptive, and with taking too many medications and not wanting to take their medications and not being able to go out on Friday night like they wanted to, and things like that. And I also am the president of UNC Weekends, which is a late night programming group. I wanted to be able to do this last year, but last year I had to have several surgeries, including 2 brain surgeries, so that wasn't an opportunity that I could have. So being able to do this year, I guess it does mean a little bit more.
Searching isn't finding, sit back, relax, 'cause love is blinding. Searching for affection, but searching is isn't fine.